You're listening to a Nerds podcast. All things nerds, music, horror movies, pro wrestling, video games, anything nerds would like.
Once again, back with another Nerds podcast. Today I have a really awesome person. I'm glad to get a chance to interview a very talented performer, Stephen Cruz. Is that your name right? Did I get it right?
Stephen Cruz is correct.
All right, awesome.
AKA Scarecrow.
Cool, awesome. Now, my podcast consists of pro wrestling, comic books, video games, just basically the nerds would vacate to. You don't have to be a nerd, but, it's cool if you are. Now, okay. I know that you're a wrestling performer. Were you a wrestling fan as a young age?
Yes, I was. I actually started watching wrestling probably, I don't even know the age. We'll go Attitude Era.
Okay. Now, as a kid, did you remember anyone that stood out that caught your attention?
To me, it was always Undertaker. He was always my number one against Stone Cold, and Jeff Hardy was really also number one up there with the Undertaker.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. Now, as you got older and when wrestling started becoming a focal point in your life where you looked at it as like a means that you could probably want to do for yourself, what inspired you to become a performer you become now? Who did it, if you had one?
Honestly, at the age that I started, I would have to say Diamond Down the Stage, knowing at the age that he started. Mm-hmm. Because I was already 27.
Okay.
So I wanted to get into it before I hit my 30s. My body started falling apart.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, DDP is definitely somebody to look up if you want to get into the world at an older age. There's no age. There's no age limit in this.
What is it? Yeah, as long as you have, the will you want to drive, because clearly it doesn't really matter. Because DDP, also Batista was, much up in his age when he got started. I mean, he was a bodybuilder, but still, bodybuilding is far from being a professional wrestler.
Yes, it is. It's crazy, the stories you hear about these guys. Mm-hmm. And it's inspiring, too.
It is, I agree, most definitely. Now, as did you, in high school, did you do any sports or anything, activities that were like, just didn't have to be sports?
I played baseball since I was 4 years old.
Okay.
I still play till this day.
Mm-hmm.
The name Scarecrow actually came from a baseball team. It's vintage baseball. It's 1800s Civil War reenacted baseball. Back in the day, all the baseball players had a nickname, and they blessed me with Scarecrow.
Okay. That's
there's
cool.
a story behind that. It's a fun game. Crazy.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's barehanded baseball. It's nuts.
Okay. I like that. Did you playing sports in school, did that help you in any way as being a performer?
Oh, absolutely. The nerves aren't there as much if you're performing in front of people. You get used to that at a young age. I would have to say one thing with baseball, it really helps with balance and footwork in wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's a main thing that I was very picky about when I saw people in the school, and their feet just weren't right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I just must be like, look, come on, do this, work on this a little bit, and get that footwork down because you're tripping over yourself right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't want that in front of people that are paying to see you perform.
Okay. Now.
So yeah, I would say footwork is definitely one thing that confidence too.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. Now, what school did actually, when you started to train, what was your school that taught you how to perform?
See, the thing with me in performing is that school didn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
I started DJing at a very young age in clubs. Mm-hmm. I used to go by the name DJ Era back in the day. Mm-hmm. There's really not many clubs where I am in Long Island anymore. A lot of them have shut down, but
yeah.
At a young age, being in a club in front of 500 people, if you make a mistake on a song, they're going to come after you.
Oh, yeah.
You got some alcohol involved in there, they're really going to come after you.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely.
it was a easy transformation. I feel like to me because I was so used to being in front of so many people
Mm-hmm.
that even when I debuted at NYWC, there was a lot of people there, and I wasn't scared about the people. I was more scared about not doing everything that I was trained right. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
The people weren't my concern. It was definitely, am I going to go out there and do what I was taught properly? Do good by my trainer.
Okay. What was the regimen that you had when you were training? What did he have you do?
There was a lot, man. My first day of class, it was all this lockups. I didn't get into that ring until a couple days later.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It was all with arm bars and just, learning chain wrestling and things like that. They didn't let me get into the ring until I learned all that.
Okay.
So it was a process.
Now, how was the atmosphere as when you trained? And I'm not saying like it was negative or positive, either one. But like, back in the day, you're a fan, so you know the stories about how old school trainers would try to break them to see if they had, I guess, what it takes to handle it in the ring. How did they?
Oh yeah, they come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was open arms, man. They were just, people were there. They were happy. People were there to train, and nobody was there BSing. And I didn't get that vibe, where it was let's break this kid down,
Okay.
to see if he comes back. It wasn't like that. It was like you can tell he knows about wrestling. He's really here to do it, And they took me in with open arms. Like I have no complaints about anything or anybody that I trained with.
Okay. Now, like as your trainer goes, and I'm not asking you. You don't get to tell me his name or anything like that. But like as a trainer goes, was he like a journeyman or something like that? Like how did you get in touch with him?
My trainer is the guy who trained me. His name is Jack Gallo. He's the wrestler on the indie. He's a great guy. He's a personal trainer as well.
Okay.
My school was ran by Brian Idol. I don't know if you know the name.
I might know it.
He wrestles out of Florida now.
Okay.
Yeah. He was just a cool dude, man. Like I said, training wise, I have a mentality as an athlete that if you're going to train, you're going to train. I'm not like, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but
yeah.
While I'm in training, I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to get my work in for what I pay for.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
And then afterwards, let's go at the bar, maybe grab a beer,
Yeah. But if you this is not like a type job where you're going to, pump gas. This is a job that you're putting your body on the line, and it's cool to make friends, but this is your career. So you're not here to buddy up someone because that dude could very well throw you under the bus. So it's best not to try to assume that everyone's going to be tight with you. It's cool if you are friends, but it's not a necessity. So I don't take it as being a jerk. It's like, you got a business. It's a business as well.
It's like going to college, You're paying for a degree. You're not there to joke around. You're there to get that degree in what you're focused on so that you can make money in the future.
Exactly. You have a determination. The fact that you made up your mind this is something you wanted to do, and now you're in the process of doing it, you better take it seriously.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that was the other thing I would tell a lot of the young guys. Like, after I had some, I would say 2 years in, I would say, listen, you guys are young. You're not going to make a lot of money doing this right now. If anything, you're going to lose money.
Yeah, probably.
You have to have a hustle on the side. You have to be working.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
otherwise you're going to be miserable. You're going to be upset, and you're not going to find any love in the sport anymore because you constantly have no money. You're not getting paid a lot, and that all adds up mentally. Yeah.
You need to have a fallback plan. You have to have something just in case, God forbid, hopefully you do make it, but God forbid, for whatever reason, you need to be able to sustain yourself because it's not free.
Yeah. Yes. So I tell the guys, save up. You don't have to go out and eat every day. Things like that. I'll tell them. It's a person's mentality. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped, but you can also try to help somebody that needs guidance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, there's a way to talk to people and go about it. You don't have to be rude about it. You
No.
know, just let them know, listen, some of these choices you're making are right, and it's showing in the ring. You know,
Yeah.
let's try to fix this.
Yeah, it's tough love. It's not. You're not cutting
Exactly.
someone down. You're trying to give them constructive criticism. And some people are very sensitive. They don't know how to handle it. But you know, if you're an adult, you should be able to handle some sort of criticism. Like, dude, I'm not saying you garbage. I'm just saying you're just not properly, you know, doing the footwork right or something like that. But if you keep training, you'll get it right. But some people don't hear that. They hear what they want to hear.
Well, I'm a believer in criticism. I'm a huge believer in criticism. If somebody can tell me something that's going to help my craft, I'm going to take that advice.
Exactly.
And, you know, some people don't like criticism. They get really upset with it, and they tear themselves down.
Yeah.
And in wrestling, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but there's no room for that. You know,
No.
You got to put your big boy pants on. If you're gonna take a beating, you're gonna take a beating. If you're gonna give somebody a beating, you give them that beating. But the main goal of the night is to entertain the people that pay for those.
Yeah. I don't think it's the same as it was. I think if people are sensitive now, it's kind of silly because back in the day, and like, you know the story, so I don't have to get into the whole detail, but you know the stories like Hulk Hogan went in the ring and his first day out and he got his leg broken by Matt Suda, whatever his name is. And I'm pretty sure that day Hogan was a little bit arrogant and he just basically he basically tried to grapple with him and learn his lesson. Like, yeah, we don't do that here. You need to learn your lesson. So he probably put him in his place.
I had somebody do something to me that we don't know if it was on purpose, but they did injure me pretty bad.
Yeah.
But again, that's part of the territory, you know. It happens. If the person did it on purpose, shame on them.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go out there and hurt anybody, and if they didn't, it's done and over with. The concussion's gone, you know. Like.
Exactly.
So there's a certain mentality in the sport, and the way the old school wrestlers used to look at things, and the way you see these new guys doing things, is completely different.
Yeah.
It is very different. It's night and day. It's crazy that, you know, you'll go to one school in one town out here in New York, and everybody's very nice, cool, calm, collected, and they just want to teach you. But then you'll go to a place in the city, and they're going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
You know, there's different mentality there.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. I think that's great because you're not going to be wrestling the same person every show for your entire life.
Exactly.
So you got to get used to the way people work.
Yeah. And hey,
there's one thing that I don't like though is when I hear somebody say that they work stiff.
Yeah.
Because, and again, I still consider myself green.
Yeah.
But if you're training and you're paying for a school, you're being taught how to not punch stiff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take the time, learn the craft, so you don't hurt somebody.
Exactly.
The head is not a joke.
No.
So, you know, like I just saw an interview with Braun Strowman that he apologized for working stiff.
Oh, yeah. But he got a wake-up call.
That's a big boy, man.
He got a wake-up call one time. He was working stiff with Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar let him know.
Brock Lesnar knocked him one. I saw that. I remember that.
He got caught.
He stumbled back a little bit, like, holy crap, my bad. That's the wrong person to work stiff with, you know?
Yeah. Something you'll learn.
UFC champ.
You'll learn. If you get clocked across your jaw good, you'll learn to back up.
Yep. He learned. Yeah, and I've never worked with anybody that works too stiff.
Okay.
You know, the headshot that I got was a chair shot. It was supposed to be to my back, and it was the back of my head.
Man,
that's why we don't know if it was done on purpose or not. But like I said, it's water under the bridge. It's part of the show. It happens.
Yeah. Still sucks though. I don't like stuff like that. That's why. I was really disgusted with Cody Rhodes when he was in the indie scenes, and then like I think it's before AEW was basically constructed. he allowed someone to hit him with a full baseball swing shot to the back of the head. It's like, you can't defend that, and I was disgusted he let that happen. That was very unprofessional, I thought.
Yeah, well, some of these guys, they want to go out there and make a spot. It's crazy.
There's no end game for that.
You know what? There's not. I think about the future. I want to have kids. I want to be able to run around with my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a wheelchair.
Exactly.
And then put that on my wife because I wanted to go out and do something stupid in the ring.
Yeah. No one.
It's not fair.
Yeah. On the off chance someone might see it, and if they do see it, you're hoping it might be something that's going to stand out. Yeah, it's going to stand out, but all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to stand out because it's a move or a great spot or something like that. It's going to stand out because it's horrific.
Like what happened recently in AEW, I honestly, it's all over the internet. Nick Gage, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think Jericho should even be in the ring with this guy.
No.
He is a talent. He sells seats. He puts people's in arenas. People buy his gear. They buy his merch. They love him. Me personally, I got nothing. I don't know the guy, but I don't think that him and Jericho should be doing a match.
No.
I think first off, Jericho's his senior to him.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the death match.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
I'm not a fan of it. I don't even like watching it just because I don't like the blood and all. I'm not a fan of that. The body stuff wasn't made for that.
It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with anything because we're all I wouldn't say we're educated like we're so smart, but I think we have an understanding that the mats are very hard and it's already dangerous enough. If one simple mistake, someone could be a paraplegic for life. And then you add barbed wire, you add stupid stuff. First of all, to me it lessens the match. I'm sure a lot of hardcore fans will probably disagree with me, but it's like, it's to each his own. But to be honest, there's moves in there that are already dangerous. I forget that, the missile drop kick hurts the person more than it hurts the person you're doing it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a regular move.
My finisher was a swanton bomb. And I would hurt myself more than the people I was doing it to. Exactly.
It only takes but one mistake. That happened to Brock Lesnar. Remember when Brock Lesnar did the shooting star press and landed on his head?
Look at as simple as the death match between Nick Gage and David Arquette.
Oh, it's dumb.
David Arquette could have died in that match.
Dumb.
I get that it looks cool having a light bulb next to my neck.
Yeah.
Well, that visual is too dangerous. And look, the fluorescent tube went into his throat. Could have killed him.
Yeah, Nick Gage is not a trained. I'm sure he has some mat skills, but I'm sure you saw that Dark Side of the Ring. That looked disgusting. That was disgusting.
Yeah, I watched it. There was a lot of things in it that I didn't agree with, but again, each their own.
Yeah,
I'm not judging nobody, I don't think that. I don't even know how to put this. Like, I don't want to come off as an egomaniac crazy person.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed classic wrestling matches. Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, things like that. Like, I don't need the blood. I don't need the light tubes. I don't need I want the people there. I want them cheering or booing, and I want everybody to be safe. That's the main objective.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Hey, before you go, I want to make sure I do one of the important things. I want to ask you about, how was it when you first got in the ring and you got a chance to do what you do? How did it feel your first time you got to perform?
Oh, man, it was awesome. I debuted in a Royal Rumble.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was, honestly, I don't remember a lot of it because of the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I remember walking out of the curtain. I had this thing where I give away a shirt to somebody in the crowd, either a kid or somebody, it doesn't matter. I look at it like, okay, promotion standpoint, that's a billboard.
Yeah.
Get that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, man. I got videos of it. My fiance was there. My buddies were there. My family was there.
That's cool.
You know, everybody had a good time. You know, some of them were making fun of me because they're not into the wrestling thing, and you know, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know, and you know what? I said, listen, you're making fun of me. I got a reaction out of you, but you know, my job was done.
Yeah.
And you know, afterwards, I went back and I hugged it out with everybody. You know, everybody said if I did something wrong, if I did something good, there was more good than bad. And listen, the wheel just kept rolling there, man. And I started. I got a sponsorship. Well, not a sponsorship. I would call it a promo code from Colorado.
Okay, that's cool.
Promo code Scarecrow. Use that if you want. ColoradoElbow.com.
All right, cool.
But yeah, no, it was great. I enjoyed it. There's one thing that I will say that I am not a fan of wrestling, and that's the hits.
Yeah.
Other than that, I love it, man. I freaking love it.
That's cool. Now, I always ask this question. It's two questions I always like to ask, like a fantasy question. And this pertains to wrestling. It goes to anything else, but the fantasy question between wrestlers. And I'd say the first one, let's say, and I always refer to this kind of like a Survivor Series kind of like crew of a team. Let's say if you have four. Let's say if you have four people. Doesn't matter who they are. They can put them in like in your own promotion, and you're like a stable. You're the ringleader. You're the head of the stable. You can pick someone living or dead. Doesn't matter who it is. Who would you like to have as your four backup guys in your team?
Now these AEW, WWE guys,
it doesn't matter. Anybody. If it's indie that you got to explain why do you choose them as an indie.
Okay. I'm gonna go with AEW, WWE guys. Because
okay.
That's just what I really watch a lot now.
Okay.
Past, present, future, correct?
Yep.
All right. My squad would be four guys. Would be Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
Jeff Hardy.
Cool.
Taker.
All right.
And Broken Matt Hardy.
I like that.
That would be my squad right there.
That's a nice squad. You got a star-studded one right there.
You got the powerhouse in Taker. You got the movesets of the Hardy Boys, and Eddie Guerrero, the technician.
Okay. I don't even pick about Undertaker, but what style of Undertaker would it have been if?
Okay, if we're gonna go style like that, we're gonna go old school Undertaker, Paul Bearer.
Oh, I like that. I like that right there. Walking the ropes.
Real dead man.
Walking the ropes. I like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be my four. So I'm gonna make that match happen in 2K.
Oh yeah, I know you can. No, most definitely. All right, now the last question I'm going to ask you is this one. It's going to be basically a WrestleMania, because the only way I can have phrases, but WrestleMania kind of like match. And this is for the championship. Who would you like to have in your wrestling match? You can pick anyone, living or dead, doesn't matter whoever it is, as your WrestleMania match opponent.
As mine or as a 2-on-2? I'm booking the match.
As you're the main event. You're the star attraction.
I'm the main event, so
yes.
I'm facing somebody?
Yes.
Who would I want to face?
Yeah.
It's a tough one. There's two that are popping up, and that's Finn Balor and Seth Rollins.
You can make it a three-way if you want to. You can make it a triple threat.
I would go Rollins.
Rollins? Okay.
I would pick Rollins over Balor. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Dude can work, man. That dude can work.
Yeah.
I like what he does, and his swag, man. I'm all about, looking good and feeling good. His swag, man, gets me. I love it.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
The suits he wears they get people talking about him, and that's part of the job.
Exactly. That's the point. He has the skill. He has everything.
I even tweeted out to him, and he never responded. I was like, yo, that suit you had on, where did you get it? Because I need to get one.
Cool. That's awesome. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you again for doing this. And hopefully down the line, if you're not busy, we can do this again. I think this is really, really awesome.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I enjoyed it. And hopefully we will get in more depth in other others like wrestling, comic books, or whatever you want to talk about. But I'm very grateful to the moment that you took time out of your day to let me interview you. So hopefully I get to see you down the line. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good day and everything.
Thank you so much, man. I hope you have a great day, too.
All right, man. All right, I'll see you later.
All right, be good.
All right, bye. Thank you again for doing this. This was an awesome podcast. Stephen Cruz, Scarecrow, is his alias. He was very, very talented, and I know he's an amazing performer, and hopefully down the line I will get to interview him again. But I'm going to be signing off on this one, and hopefully I'm going to have another interview tomorrow. But for tonight, I'm going to go with a zombie sound effect.